Another icky evening. Since it's really muddy outside, what should I do? Oh, I know! I'm gonna go through the stash of old games. Ooh, what's this game? Wait a minute. Why does this game feel so familiar? Oh dear, what have I found? Well, better pop the disc in.
Arthur's Computer Adventure, released in 1998 by Living Books and the Learning Company. This was one of the last Living Books games and has been a special place in my childhood for both good and bad reasons. The game was based on the book Arthur's Computer Disaster by Mark Brown in 1997. There's even an episode called Arthur the Wrecker, which basically had the same plot and premise as the game and book, but when it came to the title, it was not so crash hot. Peanut Butter Gamer did his review on this game and talked about it briefly, but he never talked about the main course activity, Deep Dark Sea.
You are, but...
Arthur, why?
Is it the greatest game in the universe as Arthur described it? Or is it full of trash that needs to be cleaned up? Well, today we dive into Deep Dark Sea. As we enter Deep Dark Sea, we are greeted by this main menu with a globe with 3 different colored X's. Green for easy, yellow for medium, and red for hard. Despite of there being multiple dive sites out there in the real world, only 5 very famous dive sites were used in this game, which means that there's only one green X, which is the Indian Ocean, which is the first level you go through. Because of this, the game feels very short, but then again, it is targeted towards 4th graders, so of course there isn't going to be more than 5 dive sites. Each dive site has each large treasure, and the objective is to get to the treasures in the sunken temples, ships, and ruins. You also have to avoid dangerous sea creatures like sharks, jellyfish, barracudas, pufferfish, and many others. Some sea creatures, however, will help you along the way, such as the dolphin, kill a dolphin with fire! Sea turtle, and seal. The seals will deliver you air tanks, which will allow you to progress even further without drowning. The sea turtle possibly has to be the worst sea creature in the game, simply out of the fact that it doesn't really do you any good, since you can swim faster than the sea turtle if you hold the right arrow key. The dolphin will deliver you bubble bombs, which would allow you to destroy enemies off the screen. Wait a minute! Did they just steal that from Hypersonic from Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Despite of how cute dolphins are in real life, they are still dangerous to us humans. Also, that's pretty violent, just having to destroy all the enemies off the screen. That's something I don't think that would be acceptable for a 1st grade game. If you're lucky, you'll find what Arthur calls the Thing, which happens to be a treasure chest that's sunken below the sea. When you do get the Thing, you'll be rewarded with a lot of coinage and bubble bombs and air tanks. And whatever you do, don't let your oxygen tanks go empty, otherwise this happens.
Hey, you're running out of air. If you have to stop, that's a letter on your keyboard. You ran out of air.
I need therapy now. If you believe that Sonic drowning was the creepiest thing you've ever seen, you thought wrong! I'm not kidding. This game is downright scary, even for a 1st grader game. The graphics, especially in dark areas from the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, just look downright terrifying. And some of the treasures in this game are downright creepy. Especially this. And this. And this. These graphics are easily comparable to the Donkey Kong Country trilogy and Toy Story, but those were released years earlier on much inferior consoles. And the sound quality is also really bad too, especially with the sound effects and the commentary from Arthur and Buster as you progress through the game. But to be fair, you don't have to have good graphics in order to make a good game. Okay, so what about the actual gameplay itself? Well, since the main objective is to swim through each dive site to collect the treasure, it is a very fun game, but it has some issues and problems that are worth noting. First of all, the controls in the game are very clunky. Just a slight tap on one of the arrow keys will allow the diver to go on a grid or a predetermined path. and this can lead to a lot of fights, so the controls take a while to get used to. The only real use for the mouse controls themselves are to go through the volcanic chambers in the Pacific Ocean, which somehow does not deplete your oxygen tanks very quickly. Another nitpick I have for the game is the fact that it does not run well on Windows 11. No, seriously, this is real footage from Windows 11, and this is what I ended up getting. Everything is black except for the characters that are animated. As for the level design, it's linear, and there really isn't a whole lot to explore unless you go above the water in the Indian Ocean, which is infested with sharks. When you do enter the temples, the sunken ships, and the ruins, there really isn't a whole lot to explore since there's a linear path, and there really isn't a whole lot to explore aside from just destroying enemies with bubble bombs. Though there aren't that many glitches in this game, there are still some that are present and have ruined the experience for me. Every time you touch a coin, the game makes it out like you haven't even touched the coin at all. Another noticeable glitch in the game, one that I've recorded here, is that every time the dolphin respawns after you collect the bubble bomb, you can get an endless supply of bubble bombs, and no enemy will stand in your way. And lastly, death has no penalty. Every time you die, you'll still have the same coins, you can get more every time you die. Though I haven't exactly recorded this glitch, I swear, I did experience that when I was using an older computer. The last nitpick I have is the repetitive commentary of Arthur and Buster. They just keep saying the same lines over and over again, and they tell you pointless tips they already know.
Look! A gold coin! Oh no! It's the Squid Squad! Hey, it's a bubble bomb! Look! A gold coin! Oh no! It's the Squid Squad! Look! There's some more air tanks! That Barracuda has some sharp teeth! Look! A gold coin! Oh no! It's the Squid Squad! Look! There's some more air tanks! Look! A gold coin! Oh no! It's the Squid Squad! Ooh, it's getting darker. That Barracuda has some sharp teeth. Ooh, it's getting darker.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! So what do I think of the game overall? Well, despite of all the issues from Deep Dark Sea, I had a very fun experience with it, and that's saying a lot about Living Books games and their activities, which are normally just matching games and word games that are targeted for younger demographics. Overall, I give this game a solid 4.5 starfish out of 5.